Hello smart mathematicians, let's do question 8.2. In the diagram alongside T is a hook on the ceiling of an art gallery. Points Q, S and R are on the same horizontal plane from three people observing the work. The angle of elevation from Q to T is X. QSR is equal to 90 plus X, and then QRS is equal to X. That's the angle there. And then QR is 5 units. And TS is equal to SQ. Prove that the length of QT is 10 sine X. Right, and remember that from the previous question, we managed to get that QS is 5 tan X. What are we going to do? Right, let's look at triangle QTS. Let's look at triangle QTS. So we want to find QT. Again, we want to check, before we go to the cosine rule, can we use the sine rule to find QT? Let's see, let's check. We have QT there. It goes with angle QST there. And then we have Q. It goes with side TS. TS we have because TS is equal to QS. So it means this one also is 5 tan X. 5 tan X. Right, we can find this angle here. We can find this angle because we know TS is equal to SQ. So we can say that angle QST is equal to 180 degrees minus 2x. Why am I saying that? Because this angle also is equal to x. Angle T there is equal to x because with these are angles opposite equal size. You can even write those reasons, is fine. These are angles opposite equal size, and then x plus x is 2x, and then we separate from 180 degrees because of the interior angles of a triangle or angle sum in a triangle. Right, so you add up to 180 degrees. So we say 180 minus what? Minus 2x to get this one. 180 here minus 2x. You see that? So now we have an angle and a side. And then we have a side, we have an angle and a side that we want to find. So we have one unknown here. So we can use our sine rule. Do you see that? Okay, let's use the sine rule. So I'm going to show you 3 ways of doing this. The first one, I'm going to use the sine rule, and then the next 2 alternative methods, we're going to use the cosine rule. So let's start with the sine rule. So QT over sine what? 180 minus 2x. 180 degrees minus 2x sine 180 degrees minus 2x is equal to TS over sine x. Okay, all right, and then reduction formula, 180 degrees minus 2x is where? Is in the second quadrant. Okay, and then in second quadrant, the sign of an angle there is positive, so it's QT over sine 2x. We have reduced that angle, that is a reduction there, is equal to TS over sine x. Right, we have TS. Okay, let's substitute TS. We put what? TS is 5 tan x. TS is 5 tan x then. So we have QT over sine 2x is equal to 5 tan x over sine x. We want QT. Let's make QT the subject here of the formula. So we multiply by sine 2x on both sides of the equation. So QT is equal to 5 tan x times sine 2x over sine x. We've multiplied by this denominator on both sides of the equation. And then we can change tan x here and sine 2x to remember double angle. Okay, and then QT is equal to 5, and then this is sine x over cos x. Then sine 2x is what? Remember, it's 2 sine x cos x. And then all this divided by sine x. We can even say here this one over 1. Okay. And then cos x divided by cos x is 1. And then sine x divided by sine x is 1. You see that? And then what are we left with? We're left with qt is equal to 5, then sine x times 2, which is qt is equal to 10 sine x. See that? We have proved that qt is equal to 10 sine x using the sine rule. So in the next method, I want us to use the cosine rule. Let's use the cosine rule. Let's try to do that. We have discussed the information, and we said we have agreed that this angle here is 180 degrees minus 2x, and then this is 5 tan x. We want qt here, so we can use the cosine rule. Qt squared is equal to, then besides an included angle here, we have qs squared plus ts squared minus 2 times qs times ts, and then cos 180 degrees minus 2x. That's the cosine rule there. Let's substitute what we have. So we have qt squared is equal to qs is 5 tan x squared plus ts is 5 tan x squared minus 2, then 5 tan x, and then 5 tan x. Okay, and then cos 180 minus 2x. We can let's reduce this straight away. Where is it? It's in the second quadrant. Is 180 minus 2x is in the second quadrant. 180 degrees minus 2x, and then cosine of an angle there is what? Negative. So this is negative cos 2x. We have reduced that part. We continue. Qt squared is equal to, this is like 25 tan squared x and 25 tan squared x. Then 25 tan squared x plus 25 tan squared x is 50 tan 50. Okay, 50 tan squared x minus 5 tan x times 5 tan x, that is 25 tan squared x, then times 2. So it means it's minus 50 tan squared x, and then times minus cos 2x. If you check here, we have two terms. If you check these two, we have two terms. Oh, 50 here, sorry, 50, not 5. Right, we have two terms, and then they have a common, highest common factor, which is 50 tan squared x. So we factor out 50 tan squared x. So we have qt squared is equal to 50 tan squared x, and then what we have? 1. This will give us 1. 50 tan squared x divided by 50 tan squared x is 1, and then minus negative cos 2x. So it becomes what? Plus, be careful there, plus cos 2x. You see that? And then we have that. You see? Okay? And then what we have here? 1 plus cos 2x. We can change this. Remember the double angle formula. Okay? Cos 2x is, let me write it here. Cos 2x is equal to this. We have 2 cos squared x minus 1. And then we have 1 minus 2 sine squared x. And then we have cos squared x minus sine squared x. Do you remember that? Right, if we check here, we have to be very, very careful. The one which is going to be friendly for us. If we say, if you use this one, this 1 is going to be eliminated because it's going to be 1 minus 1. Do you see that? Okay, let's choose that one. So it's going to be qt squared is equal to 50 tan squared x, and then 1 plus, and then we put this 2 cos squared x minus 1 where there's cos 2x there. Then 1 plus 2 cos squared x minus 1. See that? And then 1 minus 1 will give us 0. So if qt squared is equal to 50 tan squared x times 2 cos squared x. You see that? Now you see it's shaping up. It's coming up nicely. And then what is tan squared x? Is like sine squared x over cos squared x. So we say qt squared is equal to 50, and then sine squared x over cos squared x. I'm converting this to sine squared x over cos squared x, then times 2 cos squared x. Okay, and then cos squared x divided by cos squared x is 1, so we remain with qt squared is equal to 50, and then sine squared x times 2, and that qt squared is equal to 100 sine squared x. Then what do? We square root both sides. But remember, when you square root, we are going to get positive and negative. But qt is distance, isn't it? So qt is distance. So qt is going to be positive. So qt not qt squared. And then 100 sine squared x. Then qt is equal to 10 sine x. You see that? So because qt is distance, so we take the positive one. Okay, right. And then the other one that we could have done just same as this, but now we are going to use our angle x. We're going to use our angle x still on the same triangle. Right, we have our angle x here. You see that angle x, and then we have our side there. We say this one is 5 tan x. You see that? Okay, so we can use the cosine rule for this one. Ts squared is equal to what? Now we're talking about side qs and qt. So it's going to be qs squared plus qt squared minus 2 times qs times qt cos x. Let's substitute what we have. So it's 5 tan x squared, that is ts, ts, then it's equal to qs, which is 5 tan x, then plus, we're looking for qt, so it's still qt minus 2, then qs is what? 5 tan x, then qt, that's what we're looking for, and then cos x. Alright, and then what we do, okay, here I made a mistake, should be 5 tan x squared, sorry for that, this is 5 tan x squared. And then if you check, we have 5 tan x squared here, 5 tan x squared here, so it means if you transpose here, it's going to be negative 5 tan x squared, then they'll cancel each other out, so we remain with 0 this side, equals to qt squared minus 2, right, let's just simplify this, 2 times 5, that is 10, so it's minus 10 tan x qt, then cos x. Right, we have two terms here, and then we can factor out qt. So 0 is equal to qt, then qt squared divided by qt is qt, then minus 10 tan x, qt divided by qt is 1, so we remain 10, then cos x, just that. Okay, so now it's either qt is equal to 0 or qt minus 10 tan x cos x. So it's either qt is equal to 0 or qt minus 10 tan x cos x equal to 0. So therefore qt is equal to 0 or qt minus 10 tan x cos x is equal to 0. Right, so let's take this part. Then we have qt is equal to, okay, I will transpose this negative tan x cos x to the left hand side, so it becomes 10 tan x is equal to 10 tan x times cos x. Remember, tan x is what? Sin x over cos x. So qt is equal to 10 sin x over cos x times cos x. Then cos x divided by cos x is 1, so we remain with qt is equal to 10 sin x. Okay, so we've managed to find our qt there, or we managed to prove that qt is equal to sin x. Okay, right, so we're going to meet when we're doing question 8.3.